Hey guys, this is John. It's another Clock as a Weapon video. I'm playing Glitter Pig 666 in a 3+0 game on chess.com. First game in about 2 weeks online. I've been busy. I hope you guys are enjoying your summer. Summer tends to get busy for me, busier than usual. I mean, I feel like I'm always busy, but yeah, summer gets even more busy than usual. It's good though, good kind of busy. I was out in North Carolina teaching a chess camp for a week at the Charlotte Chess Center. I've been going out there for, I think, 8 years straight, actually, in the summer teaching at camp there. Got back a couple days ago, and this next weekend I'm playing an over-the-board tournament, just a 5-round tournament, so it doesn't count towards norms or anything like that. It is FIDE rated, however, and that is in Wisconsin. It's in Superior, Wisconsin. Can I go here? I think I shall, because white has some issues with this d-pawn. If f3, queen takes d4 comes with check. So it looks to me like white has to play knight f3, which is definitely not what you want here. So yeah, I'm playing the Twin Ports Open in Superior, Wisconsin. And that's also something I've been doing for many years in a row now. I think that's the 8th annual Twin Ports Open. So yeah, some long-standing commitments, chess tournaments and camps that I like to support. So, okay, white does play knight f3. Now, this should be pretty nice for me because I managed to keep this c4 pawn with this knight nicely posted on b6. Bishop b4. Not intending to take the knight necessarily, although, yeah, white does guard e4. Let's just castle here and try to keep this roughly 20-second advantage I have. I know when I've taken, I'm going to take here, a extended break from online chess in the past, my speed can suffer, so in the interest of this series especially, let's try to keep it going. I'm going to play e5. I like this move before white can play e5. Try to fight for the c5 square too. Okay, and white plays bishop e3. I think I can take that and maybe play here. Yeah. I'm happy to trade the dark square bishops. I expect white to put a rook on d1, and I think I'll play queen e7 against that. Eventually, I will swap and play knight c5. And then my knight, when it goes to c5, is going to have some real nice options here and here. Possibly a4 will be weak as well. So I really like this position. I think white's got to do something drastic in a hurry if they want to change the tide of this game. Okay, let's take. Yeah, knight c5. Now there's a simple question about the a pawn. Maybe I wouldn't take it yet because c4 would hang. But there's also knight d3, maybe knight b3. I'm thinking about rook a d8 as well, just to try to trade rooks down the file. Hard for white to make a move here. I think in theory you should play for f4 e5, but easier said than done. Okay, I'm thinking about rook coming over, knight d3 as well. Knight d3, maybe b3. White's rook is kind of looking stranded, though. Let's play the simple move. And I would anticipate queen e3. And I'm thinking about taking on a4 at that point when white's queen is no longer protecting. Okay, so queen c2. So knight b3 looks pretty good. Knight d3 as well. Let's go with knight b3. Force white to take on d8. Looking to wrest control of the file away from white. Okay, this looks like a good time to play h5, maybe h4 coming up. Make some luft for my king. Let's go g6 as well. Pawns on light squares against this light square bishop. King g7, easy improving moves when white has less than 30 seconds left. Knight d4 was also good there. That would have been strong. Can still play it. Let's go queen here first, just see if white blunders. The time is a much bigger factor than the move quality at this point. So typical scenario in 3 minutes. Let's play queen d4. Nicely centralized queen. I'm going to pivot the knight to e5 next. Okay, yeah, white does something drastic here, but I think we can safely take this. Let's bring the queen back. White needs to include this in the attack. Ooh, I actually did not see that that was possible. Okay. So inaccuracy on my part. What can you do? Step here. Avoid a perpetual, if possible. Oh, I thought he was going to check on c8. Clearly, I'm just playing for the flag at this point. Okay, and I get the flag. All right, so I blundered the queen g4 tactic, but I maintained my big time edge. We'll take it. Yeah, black should be looking to capture on c4 in many of these positions where white fianchettos in the Slav. Okay, and we get Konovets, Grandmaster. I believe this is Sam Sevion, Grandmaster from the US, young player, 17, 18 years old. I played him over the board, and I lost in our over the board encounter. So actually, we may have something similar here, where he's looking to regain this pawn. I'm going to let him take that. I could attempt to defend it with bishop e6, but in my experience, those lines don't go so well. Okay, rook a3. Yeah, he's a very quick, confident player. As a lot of these young grandmasters tend to be. It's a good quality to have. So let's play bishop f5 or maybe bishop g4. Now let's just go here. He's probably going to play for e4. And I'm going to again sink this knight on b4. Stay solid. We'll go here. He's induced me to play h6, so evidently he thinks he can attack this, which he does now with queen c1. Okay, but I feel relatively secure in these positions. Let's play bishop d7. He's stopping this. A little less space, but it's going to be hard for white to take down my position, or it should be. Let's come back now and defend that bishop. I'm happy to trade. I don't think he will, though. Ooh, and he blunders this. So we get to win the exchange. And maybe b5 now comes to mind. Taking also comes to mind. I could take and play something like queen c7 is interesting. Give up some play on the dark squares, but nah, let's not do that yet. Let's go here first. I'm going to keep that in mind. Maybe f5 now. Yeah, f5. Try to fight back. I don't want to get too cramped in this position. I do slightly weaken g6 when I play this way, though. Maybe here now. Yeah, h4 is a little bit annoying. If I play h5, knight f3, knight g5 could be bothersome. So I feel like I shouldn't do that. Let's take here. Now I'm hugely behind on the clock. Need to make some of that up. Material-wise, looking good, but clock situation could be better. Not precisely sure which way he should take. I feel like he should take with the d pawn, because if he takes with the f pawn, I can take on e4 and maybe play bishop f5. Okay, he's going to do that. But take h5, perhaps? Well, let's try it. He's looking to weaken my castled king position over here pretty significantly. Let's play e6. So I'm trying to fortify this bishop here. My rooks are not too relevant yet, but I am still up that exchange. So that should be handy. If he takes, I'll probably take with the bishop. Okay, he plays queen there. So threatening g4 for one thing. I should probably take, but then his queen comes in. Okay. Yeah, that is irritating. I'm not sure what I do about this, actually. g4 is a pretty big threat, and I might be kind of stuck. I need to think of something fast. I am not sure. I don't see a good move here. Okay, I'm going to take and then play queen here. I know he can take h6 with check. I don't like it, but I did not see anything better. Try to play queen g6 after that. g4 looks like a decent move still. Yep. To go here. And he can take and take e6. This definitely does not inspire confidence, but what can you do? Yeah, and that should be pretty killer. Yeah, I think that's resignable. Okay. So I didn't figure out a good way to escape that situation. Maybe taking on e5 gave him too much play. He has some compensation for the exchange, to be sure. h4, that's a grandmaster move right there. Looking to weaken with this. So I could play h5 as I mentioned, but I didn't like this knight pivoting to the g5 square. You can see the effect of moving multiple pawns around your king. I mentioned this before. Usually one move with the pawns around your king, like in a fianchetto situation, sometimes even two like this, is tolerable, but when you start moving all three of your pawns and your opponent has plenty of pieces on board, that's when problems can really occur. So yeah, I don't feel like I handled that situation best, but okay, strong player, 2966 Blitz. Don Drew is next. Let's play e4. Moving right along. This will be a good way to start my week. It is 11 o'clock p.m. on Sunday, August 11th, as I'm playing this. Let's play Ruy Lopez. Okay, I'll play d3. Not looking to go into the Berlin endgame quite yet. Okay, let's take. Maybe knight c4. Looks like an interesting attempt. Attack both of these. Try to grab the bishop pair if possible. And let's do that. And I wonder if he's going to try to play for d5 very, very quickly here. He probably will. Let's take. Takes the knight. All right, so let's attack this pawn. d4. d4 definitely comes to mind. I feel like striking in the center is justified, especially with this knight being pinned. Open the way for the two bishops. Okay, now let's just bring this into the action. Maybe not the best square, strictly speaking, but I could send it somewhere better in the future. Maybe c4 after this. Or d1 as well. Let's go here. a4, hangs b2. Really hate to just trade on c4 here. Bishop c5 is another move. Rook e2 as well. It's an annoying knight, though. Kind of feels like a piece I have to remove sometime soon. Let's try something interesting. I'm going to dare him to take here. I'm going to look to get a rook to a8 eventually. I don't know how this is going to work out. It may work out poorly, but let's find out. Just plays that. Okay. So let's go h4. Let's play f3. Yeah, this definitely didn't work out the way I wanted it to. Honestly, I feel like my best bet at this point is to go for an opposite color bishop endgame, which I know is very lame, but the clock situation is concerning, and this is a draw. So it's probably my best way of just holding the position. Try to play some quick moves, because black's pawn is relatively useless here. Purely practical decision. Let's give it a check. I'll try to play king f4 next if I can. Bit of an improvement. Okay, let's go check. And then I can play f4 next, get pawns on dark squares, anchor them. Yeah, and now there's really nothing to do so long as I keep f4 and c3 defended. Can actually pre-move here. Okay. Yeah. Not pretty, but I do think that was the correct call under the circumstances. Because if I try to continue attempting to prove compensation here, being down 30 seconds on the clock, I think it could end poorly for me the more I keep the tension. So I knew that this was a drawn ending. It was mostly a matter of, can I play it fast enough? But it's a relatively simple position, hard to mess up. You can make a lot of quick moves here. So important decision right there. Let's get back in the pool. So 1.5 out of 3 so far. But who's counting, really? It's a nice way to keep track of things, but I'm more concerned about my play. I mean, actually the score, I mentioned this before, but the thing I like about the score is it holds me accountable for the number of games that I'm playing. And I want to reiterate this, mention this in many videos in this series. I really think limiting the number of games you're playing in a session is the way to go, especially if you're looking to improve in chess. I mean, if you're just looking to have fun and you don't really care about your results, that's fine. I do that too sometimes, but if you want to get better, I really think it's important to limit the number of games. Try to identify the number of games you're going to play in a session in advance and stick religiously to that number. Don't stray from it. So we all know that feeling when you lose a couple games in a row and you're starting to feel on tilt and you want to play more and try to get your rating points back, but you should try to avoid that at all costs. So it forces you to stay disciplined and actually care more about the content of the game rather than the strict number, because you'll be able to establish a new number in the next session or maybe in the next day. Okay, so I'm just waiting for another game here. Maybe I can take a quick peek at what the engine thinks about this position, because I felt like I lost the thread here. And you can see 0 mistakes, 0 blunders, 0 missed wins. So maybe I didn't miss anything substantial, but let's take a quick peek at yield stockfish. See what it thinks. Maybe it's just about equal here. Considered bishop c5. That's the top move of the engine. Bishop c5 followed by bishop takes c4, but yeah, it was roughly level. Okay, Dion Mila 31, 2408. Let's do this. Okay, Owen's defense, named after John Owen. I talked about him. He was the first person to attempt the double bishop sacrifice in chess in recorded chess history. Unfortunately, he lost that game, so Lasker got the credit. And I made a video about that. Poor John Owen, man. But at least he has Owen's defense named after him. Okay, I want to play d5 here, but I feel like the simplifications may work out poorly for me. Just trying to briefly calculate if there's any merit to that, because it would be a really nice move to play. It's thematic. I'm not seeing it, though, so I'm just going to continue. And let's play here. Am I running into this? I guess I can play rook f1 against that. All right, so it looks fine. Now maybe a3, just hint at b4. Got to find some way to put pressure on black here. Okay, he's just going to put the bishop back on d6. Let's switch tack a little bit, play bishop g5. Pin the knight. I could take and play knight e4. I don't think that's anything, so let's do this. Maintain the pin. You definitely don't want to play g5 if you're black here. If you can avoid it, because then you get into the double pawn move situation, moving the pawn 2 squares right in front of your king. Usually not a great idea, unprovoked. Okay, trade. Knight d4 seems good. Okay, my bishop's under attack. Let's go here. Thinking about knight b5 maybe. He might just double up though and sort of dare me to go knight b5, knight takes a7. I don't think that's going to be good for me. What about knight b5 followed by b4? Let's try it to start. Attack that rook, and yeah, maybe follow up with the pawn advance. If I can nab the bishop pair, I might have some pressure. Seems like black should be okay here somehow, though. Okay, And I'm expecting bishop d4. Doesn't seem like there's much else black would want to play here. a6. Again, sticking my foot in my mouth, but this seems like it should be good. Take, he takes here, I take here. Well, got to go for that. Can play bishop d6 here as well. In between move, bishop d6, queen e8, then take b5, perhaps. Always good to look at these in-between moves. Maybe this will encourage him to give up an exchange, which I would definitely be happy about. Yeah, otherwise his queen has more access to like the a3 square, for instance. Yeah, now let's take here. And I assume he'll take here, whereupon my bishop is under attack. I'm just scanning for tactics. I don't see any for him. Now I have two connected passed pawns. But he has tactical ideas. Ooh, okay. Looking at queen e4 here. Queen e4 seems like a risky move to play, but maybe justified. Queen g4 as well. Although knight c3 looks strong against that. Ah, man, this knight is problematic. Queen d2? Queen d2 seems really awkward, but I don't see what he does against that per se, so let's do it. Hopefully he goes into the tank here and thinks and takes himself under a minute. Intuitively, this feels like a bad move because black's doubled up. Usually you want to avoid alignment situations like that, but yeah, I don't see how he refutes it. Okay, let's go here. These pawns are eventually running, but I need to stabilize a bit first. Let's go bishop f1. Again, exposing myself to an attack, but where does that knight jump that can really do damage? I don't see it. He's probably just going to keep the knight there. But let me get some stuff off of this file. I don't want to get pinned. Keep thinking. My next move will be a4 if the status quo is maintained. Okay, goes there. Maybe now queen d4. I'm going to switch it up slightly. Queen g5, maybe h4. Just keep him under some pressure. Queen here. Okay. So let's get the queen off of that file once and for all. I'm very happy to play queen g3 if I can. John Queen Trade Bartholomew, that's my middle name. Okay, bishop e2 is okay, but let's go here. And I am going to run this bad boy. Both of these bad boys. Let's go here. I'll let him take the h-pawn. I'll let him take f2 as well. I really believe in my... Probably could have just taken his bishop there, but I believe in my pawns. I look pretty safe in this position too, so I think I'm completely justified in doing this. He's got to give something up there. Rook c8 coming maybe if I can. Okay, it's going to be a time scramble now, so let's keep the pressure on. Okay, I can play a lot of safe moves here. One is queen. Okay. Yeah, conversion could have been a little better, but managed to get the job done. I think on knight takes f2, I shouldn't have taken that knight. I don't think he was actually threatening anything there. It looks like a scary move, but I could probably just play a takes b7 in that position. I got a little overzealous by playing queen takes f2. But all right. One more game. Let's do this. I think the critical moment in that last game was when black was doubling the rooks on the d-file and we had that little standoff there. Okay, Elm 2007 will be the last opponent for tonight. I played this player before, but it's been a while. Candidate Master. So against e6, I usually play c4, and against g6, I often play the Tory attack, bishop g5. Here, we're transposing into some mainline d4 opening. Black could take, that's the Queen's Gambit accepted. e6, Queen's Gambit decline. Slav, c6. This usually is not a good idea, but we'll see how it turns out. Okay, which way should I take? Let's take with the knight. I'll try to keep a little bit of tension. And now here, I somehow feel like that's the right move, but I could be wrong. Now let's just play e4. Now he might go e5. Well, let's just develop. We'll deal with e5 when it comes to pass. Maybe knight db5. The Gusev counter gambit. Yeah. Haven't looked at this line in a while. Not a theoretically critical line, even though black is copying white, but okay, e5 is played. I feel like this is kind of the principled move, so let's do it. Take with the king. And let's take with the knight. Knight a6, play bishop e3. He had to guard against knight c7, so try to attack a7. F3. And king over. I feel like I'm just going to win this pawn now. Possibly with check. Can also grab it with the bishop. Let's grab it with the bishop just to cut off king b8. Then maybe rook c1 is a bigger threat. Knight takes a7 was far more natural, probably, but this could just be stronger. He has rook d2 coming. Do I care about that? Yeah, I should. I should care about that. But maybe I can run to g3? I'm going to try it. Looks interesting. Rook d2, king g3. Odd place for the king. But then again, rook c1, and also my other pieces joining the attack. Could be nice. Let's do this. And let's go here. Looking to get the other rook over, if possible. Kind of a weird position. He has bishop d2 maybe. Whose king is more exposed? Key question in this position. h5, maybe looking for h4, rook h6. Well, let's go check first. And then I'm going to take on e6, I think. Knight c7. His knight is actually pretty pesky. His bishop is guarding against rook d6 mate. Bishop c5. No, rook d6 isn't even mate. Not sure what I'm talking about. All right, let's go here. I'm really worried about this rook lift, but I had to do something. I feel like my king can hide on h3 and maybe play g3 if necessary. Not sure about the status of this pawn. A very sharp position here. Let's just play king h3. He's trying to say, yo, John, your king is weaker than mine. And he might have a point. And rook e7 is not really a threat. But let's just get the bishop out of there, see what happens. Bishop f4, I have rook d6. So if the bishop moves, I am winning. Dare I play this move? I don't know. Let's just take. I don't know what else to do. Can't spend too much time. Okay. Let's play g3. Hopefully my king is snug there. Okay, now if I play rook f1, I would be threatening rook e7 mate. So I have a threat now. And I could have changed up the move order too, but maybe this way is pretty strong. If he has to sack an exchange, that would be great for me. And I'm up 10 seconds. But yeah, I could have checked and then played rook f1, but I was just captivated by this idea of taking away the flight square. Whoa. Okay, take. He's trying to escape to d5. Well, let's keep the same threat. Yeah, definitely don't want him escaping that way if I can avoid it. And this is checkmate. All right. Wow. That was like two heavyweights, two prize fighters just taking swings at each other in the 12th round. Well, maybe the 10th or 11th round. We weren't quite in that bad of time pressure yet. But yeah, back and forth game. Just who was going to land the last blow there. I thought for a while in the middle game that my king was the one who was more exposed. Like right around here, when his king was going to d7 and then e7. Maybe g5, g4 was just not a great idea for him. And is he really busted after rook f1? It looks really tough because my king is suddenly stable. I think he has to give up the exchange here. Rook takes c5, which prevents me from playing rook e7 with the rook supported. And that should be winning for white, but it would take some time. But yeah, you know, that was a typical situation where I could change up the move order. I could play rook e7 check, king f6, rook f1, and then take f7 or something. But then I guess my bishop would be hanging. So it's probably just better to do what I did. Could play bishop g5, but I just take it with my king. Yeah, tough position. Interesting game. Okay, so I scored 3.5 out of 5. Not bad. I played Grandmaster Sam Sevion in that second game, Konovets, where I was up the exchange. But he applied a ton of pressure. Had that draw against Don Drew, where I went into the opposite color bishop endgame. I think that was all right. I think my play was all right for this session overall. So happy with this session after being away for a couple weeks from online play. Okay, so thanks as always, guys, for following along with my progress. I know the uploads have been a little bit light recently. Don't worry, if I ever have a period where I'm not uploading, don't at all be concerned that I've given up YouTube or anything. This is a long-term project for me and hobby and just a passion project, sharing my love of chess with you guys. So I'm just really gratified that so many of you watch. So thanks for tuning in, guys. Hope your summer's going really well. Enjoy your week. And I will be back again soon with another video. If you're at that Twin Ports tournament, definitely come up and say hi to me. All right. Thanks, guys.